Hey guys, welcome back to Plow and Pantry. I'm Alicia, and this is an update video for the October Freezer Challenge. If you are new to the October Freezer Challenge, that is something I do every year. This is only my second year doing it on YouTube, but it is something I do every year in October, and the purpose, I will link the intro video with my rules and what it's about. But the purpose is not like a pantry challenge where you're trying to not go to the store. The purpose is to actually clean out and make space in the freezer. For me specifically, I do it to make room for some early holiday baking because cookies freeze well, and to get some space in there to make some freezer meals for the busy holiday season so that I have space to put those in there when I make them. So my main rule over the course of October is a deficit every day. So by the end of the month, I should have used up 31 things because there's 31 days in October. And so I try to use one every day. Sometimes I get to use more, sometimes I miss a day. This week though, I'm a little late updating, so I'm going a little more than a week. My last video was after 8 days, so I'm doing days 9 through 16. And I have not yet looked, I don't remember what I got pictures of and what footage I took. So I am kind of going through the notes I made about what I used, and then we'll see what matches up to go with it. So day 9, I ended up, after day 8, I was negative 10 items from the freezer. So I had used 10 items in 8 days for the first video. So I ended last week. If you watched last week's video, I will leave it here if you want to see it in an iCard, which is always also linked in the description box. I ended up after 8 days in the last video with a negative 10 in my freezer, which was awesome. So I'm starting now at day 9. And day 9, I used 2 bags of frozen meatballs and made Salisbury meatballs that we had over mashed potatoes. Those were a good, easy recipe. They were something I had found online and had been wanting to try. It was perfect time to try them. And they were one of those easy dump in the crock pot with a couple different things. And they were pretty darn good. Everyone liked them. It was my first time making them. And they'll go on our list to do again. So that was 2 items there because I used 2 packages of meatballs. On day 10, I used 2... Gotta make a note here. I'm trying to keep track of how many things. 2 boxes of Hot Pockets. We were having leftovers for dinner because we had a ton by this point, and I did not want to pull something out to make more dinner. I wanted to not waste food and use what we have. My daughters have been asking for Hot Pockets for breakfast. It's not something we do very often, and it's really easy though on a school morning. So I pulled out 2 boxes because one likes ham and cheese Hot Pockets, one likes the breakfast Hot Pockets, and I had one as well. So that was 2 boxes on day 10. Day 11, I took out 1 bag of zucchini, shredded zucchini from the summer garden. I think I'm gonna take 2 things today. I think I'm gonna take a package of zucchini and make some zucchini bread for tomorrow's breakfast. And I think I'm gonna take this whole chicken right here. I don't know yet what I'm gonna do with it, but it's kind of in my way right there. I shred that in and freeze it in baggies in like 3 or 4 cups at a time. And I use that throughout the winter for zucchini bread. And so I pulled it out on day 11 so that it would thaw to use on day 12 for zucchini bread. So since I wasn't using it that day, I also did pull out 1 whole chicken that I used to make chicken corn chowder. The temperature was just starting to go down for us. So I decided it was a good day for soup. We had chicken corn chowder and garlic bread that night, and it was really good. Day 12, I had some random stuff. So one of the things that happens when you start using stuff in your freezer and not putting more in is you start to uncover things. And I uncovered a single Uncrustable sandwich. Let's start reaching for some back stuff. That's not enough steak for everybody. What is that? Ooh, another Uncrustable. I think I'll stick that in my daughter's lunch. Which is funny because I normally buy them. I don't buy them very often. When I do, I buy them at Costco because it's the cheapest per sandwich to get them, and it's like in a big I think it's an 18 pack. It's something big, and I will use it on one of our like appetizer leftover nights. Once a week we do like leftovers. Sometimes I'll remake them. We call it appetizer night, even though some of it's leftovers, because some of it I'll remake into an appetizer, and then I'll fill in with like frozen pre-made appetizers because it's supposed to be an easy night for me. It's usually a Sunday night. We'll watch a movie or a show or a football game, and so I don't put Uncrustables in my kids' lunches, but I will pull them out occasionally, just a few of them for an appetizer night. Somehow I ended up with one single sandwich in there. And one of my daughters, when she goes to school, her lunch, she doesn't eat that much at one time, and most of her teachers allow snacking. So she takes a snacky lunch, we call it, with like freeze-dried apple slices, trail mix, go-go squeeze, stuff like that. I threw that Uncrustable in her lunch just to get it out of the freezer, and she loved that because that's like a treat in our family. So one Uncrustable sandwich, but I also pulled out a sleeve of breakfast sausage patties. When you buy them at Aldi, they come in like a sleeve. I don't know how many are in there. I'll have to look at it for you. I think what I'm going to do today, I'm going to take out this package of sausage. I can't use this all today. There's 18 in here, but I will try to use this over the course of the week, like incorporating breakfast every day somehow. And I pulled that out. I made breakfast for dinner, which of course we didn't use the whole sleeve because there's quite a few in there. It's a really good deal. And I used like not quite half the sleeve for dinner that night, making breakfast for dinner. And then I just used it during the week. I had some with my breakfast when I had like eggs and sausage, and I made croissant breakfast sandwiches with croissants, eggs and cheese and sausage. So I think I still have 2 pieces that I'm trying to use up, but it will get used. I'm working on the whole package because I think I have another package in there. Day 13, we made burgers. I think we're gonna do burgers tonight, and I think these are burgers. Yes, they are. I had found a great deal. Every now and then, my grocery store will have a really good deal on a sale of pre-made grass-fed burgers, and it's like 10 burger patties, and I want to say it comes out to like $4 a pound for the grass-fed beef, ground beef that way, which is a pretty good price for that. And so I will buy those, and sometimes I use them as a burger. Sometimes I will crumble them up and use them as ground beef because that's essentially what it is. There's no other ingredient in it, and it's cheaper than buying the grass-fed ground beef. My husband did grill burgers that night, so we had burgers. So that was one package, and that's a good size package. I like when I use something big in the freezer because it makes more room. Day 14 was one of those appetizer nights. So I had several leftovers, but since we had just had leftovers, I didn't have enough to fill in for like the whole buffet. So I pulled out a bag of chicken strips from the deep freezer, and I pulled out a bag of pot stickers from Aldi. One of my kids had mentioned, funny enough, just a few days before, that she missed having pot stickers. It's been a long time since we've had them. And it was, again, another one of the things that I found because I had used something in front of it and was like, oh, look, there's pot stickers. So I pulled that out to put in our buffet as well. So that was 2 items that day. Day 15, I pulled out 2 things again. I made a white bean chicken chili in the crock pot. It was like 50 something degrees. It felt like fall. The leaves are finally changing and the temperature is dropping. It's getting a little too cold at night. I feel like we're kind of skipping fall and going straight to winter. I don't like that, but I do like that it's getting colder and fallish. Anyways, I pulled out some chicken for the chicken chili, and then my recipe for the white bean chicken chili calls for 3 cans of, I just use whatever white beans I have on hand. Well, right under the chicken in the freezer was a bag of cooked frozen white beans. I think they were Great Northern beans. Doesn't really matter. So I took that out. I used to, before I had my own pressure canner, I used to cook beans, like dry beans, and freeze them in Ziploc bags in the same quantity that, like 2 cups, it equals a can. So it was cheaper than buying canned beans, and I would put them in my freezer. Now I like to have the canned ones on my shelf. I also occasionally cook and freeze dry them. But I had some in my freezer, just 1 bag. So I took that 1 bag out to go in the chili, and then I got 2 cans from my basement downstairs instead of using 3 cans. That was a long way to say chicken and beans. So 2 items that day. So I did good this week, you guys. And all week long, I felt like I wasn't doing well. I was like, oh, I gotta get something from the freezer and work it in. And actually, I'm looking back at my list and going, oh, I did good. So day 16, I pulled out a package of breakfast burritos. I'm gonna pull out these breakfast burritos today. These are like Italian ones. They have pesto, mozzarella, ham, and potato. And this will be today's breakfast. These were ones I had made a while back in I think it was when I made a video of all different types of breakfast burritos. Like I've made a couple of videos of freezer breakfast meals that I want to stock my freezer with, but I think I did a video on just different types of burritos, breakfast burritos. And this was like an Italian one that had pesto and mozzarella and stuff like that. It was really good. So I pulled those out for day 16. And I also, in the same area, general area, found this little baggie of, I make white sauce enchiladas. I'm not a big fan of red enchiladas. The filling is like white with cheese and it has chicken and stuff. And I always have a little bit extra. And for some reason, I always want to freeze it because I don't want to waste it. And I feel like it's not even enough to make half a recipe. I don't know why I do that. I don't know if I think I'm going to build up enough to make a whole recipe because I don't make them often enough really to do that. So I just looked at it and I was like, you know what, I'm going to take this out. I'm going to let it thaw and I'm going to feed it to the chickens. And so I got rid of another thing just because there really wasn't much to do with it. I'm not going to use it in that small amount. I mean, I guess I could just eat the filling. It's kind of good, but at this point it wasn't even frozen well. Like it was in a regular sandwich bag, I think. So it had some frost on it. It wasn't going to be that great. So it went to the chickens. So that puts me caught up now after 16 days. So this week there were, let's see, day 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 8 days. I used 15 items this week. I'm super excited about that because like I said, I was feeling most of this week like, oh, I got to grab something to use from the freezer today. Feeling like I wasn't on my game, but I did really good. I guess I was hyper vigilant. So having used 15 items this week and 10 items the first video update of this year, puts me at a grand total of 25 items from the freezer so far, which is awesome because that's just 16 days. And I only need to use up 31. Now I will still, since I should using one a day, hit 31 this week, I will still try all of October to use something every day. If I go over, that would be awesome, super awesome. But, and I also did good about not putting anything in the freezer this week as well. So far, I'm telling you, this week was way better than I thought because that's, I think 2 weeks. I'm not sure I've ever gone that long without putting something in the freezer. I did get a couple meat deals. I've made myself can them or use them that day. So I haven't put anything in the freezer. We'll see if I can keep that up. I don't know. Anyways, so that's where I'm at for right now for the October freezer challenge. I would love if you are participating in this, if you let me know in the comments how you've been doing. I know some of you are doing things a little bit different and that's great. The whole point is to make it work for you with what you need to have going on in your life right now. I think one of you is actually doing the opposite, stocking your freezer, which is great. If that's what you need to do, that's great. I like to do challenges to meet my own goals, not just to do a challenge, not just because it's there. So if you are participating, if you're doing a freezer challenge for yourself, let me know how it's going for you. If you made anything creative and fun with what you took out of the freezer, I would love to know that too, because that's one of the fun things that happens when you do something like a freezer challenge or a pantry challenge is you come up with something that you're like, I have to use this. What am I going to do with it? Maybe you don't have time to go to the store to do what you normally do with it. And so you have to create something new. And I always find that helpful when I hear other people's ideas. So I love when you guys give me your food ideas in the comments. But that is it. We're all caught up for half of October now. Can you believe we're more than halfway through October? It's crazy. I will try to update you again in another week. It might be another 8 or 9 days instead of week, but I will try. Thanks for joining me to see what I did with my freezer challenge. I hope to see you on future videos. I'm sorry I did not get a Crocktober video up this past week, but I do have one for this coming week. I even made that crock pot chicken white bean chili and didn't make a video. I don't know why I didn't just turn on the camera while I was making it, but it was just a busy day. It's been a busy week. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for spending some of your precious few moments with me. Life is short and all your moments are precious. So I appreciate when you spend them with me, and I hope you have a wonderful day.